Hello and welcome to a review of the Star Wars X-Wing miniatures game. I got this about 2 years ago, I think, and we only took the actual wrapping off today. Just been so busy with other things. We never really got around to using it, but I also bought it for the RP more than what it's actually meant to be used for as a miniatures game. One of the hardest things with doing a fast-paced space combat game like Age of Rebellion is how and where things are in relation to one another. It's very difficult for players to picture that. You can say that there's a TIE fighter in this location and it's above or below them, but it's still a very difficult thing for a player to completely be able to picture exactly where everything is. So a way to help that is using miniatures, and that's really why I bought this game, because the miniatures looked like a viable alternative, and still being Star Wars, you can say, here's this ship, there's that ship. Now, the problem with that is it's still an expensive way to go. Now, there's a difference between expensive and value for money, and the two can be connected. I do think that this box set specifically is value for money, and it's not really expensive. You can shop around a bit and get it cheaper than recommended retail, but it's not too bad. The individual ships, they're not too bad either, but it just sort of depends. I got my last one I bought, which was the Z95 Headhunter, I got for around $10. That's excellent. A lot of the time though, their recommended retail is around 20 in Canada, and larger ships are more expensive. A player of the miniatures game might not want an Imperial shuttle or the Rebel transport, but a role player might use those sort of items a lot more often. They are not the cheapest of miniatures. It doesn't mean they're not value for money though. If you need several X-Wings at $20 a pop, you need several TIE fighters, some TIE Advance, or you need a Rebel transport, which is about 50 or 60 I think. It can add up. It can be an expensive proposition, but still be value for money. So, just looking at the box though, which we only pulled the wrapping off. The ships we have over there, it comes with 2 TIE fighters and an X-Wing. Comes with a quick start guide, which is only a couple of pages explaining the bare bones of what everything is and how to use the dials and things like that. It comes with a set of rules, which are not too thick. As rules for a miniatures game goes, this is quite good. The bolt action rulebook is quite thick in comparison. And this is full colour. Has some nice pickies every now and again and explains everything that you need to know. Comes with a little sheet which is all different ships available, from the Millennium Falcon, A-Wings, TIE Interceptors, TIE Fighters, Y-Wings, TIE Advanced, X-Wings, stuff like that. There's a lot more than this now. I didn't get this game right at the start, but it wasn't ages after its release, so there's a lot more miniatures available now for the game, and including not just Imperials and Rebels. There's a lot of sort of underworld ships now. It comes with the various boards, which you count as you pop out. Stress maneuvers, that's got the asteroids, target locks, and the turns, the 1, 2, 3s, and for the other person, and the dials, and so on and so forth. These are the counters that you put underneath here, and then you can see it through there. A set of dice. This is the only area of FFG that I don't think is value for money, and that they are very expensive, and it's their dice. They tend to use standard poly dice, which is what this is. This is an 8-sided dice with their own symbols. Cool, it suits the game and what they're doing. I have no problems with that. Where this falls apart though is the very expensive price that they charge for their dice. You pay $20 for the RP dice, and while they're very cool, they are standard 8s, 6s, 12s. $20 is too much. We've already paid $69 for the rulebook. They can cut us some slack on the dice. The hit and critical hit cards. They are interesting. They mix things up. And then you have the different play pilot cards, which is good because you can get different things. Everything costs different points. So you do get this way to use something in different ways. You have Luke Skywalker, Biggs Darklighter, Red Squadron, Rookie Pilot for the X-Wings. And they come with different pictures, which is nice. And you have Maul and Mythel, Dark Curse, Night Beast, Black Squadron, Obsidian, and 2 Academy Pilots. So you can actually field different pilots and do different things, and their stats are different, and it's cool. It does give you sort of extra life out of buying a same sort of miniature sort of thing, so that's all good. So that's basically what you get for your money. It's a good start. The only problem you will have is you're going to want to move forward pretty quickly. It's fun to play for a little bit with just the 3 ships, 1 X-Wing and the 2 TIE Fighters, and that's fun. But you do, within a reasonably short period of time, start thinking, it'd be nice to have a bigger game. So that is the only limitation of this starter box. But on the plus, this starter box is a lot cheaper than a lot of miniature starter boxes that are out there. So if you're willing to spend a little bit more right from the start, you could add a couple more ships and it wouldn't be breaking your bank. It's an interesting play mechanic. Turns are based on the skill of the pilot, and you don't know what your opponent's going to do until you flip the card, like your movement card over, and it shows what you've chosen to do. That creates a bit of a fog of war sort of situation, and it's an interesting mechanic, I think. It does occasionally lead to ships flying away from each other when people guess wrong, but I still think it's an interesting mechanic overall. If you like Star Wars and you like tactical miniature games, I think you can't go wrong with it, really. We haven't really played it, but that's been for different reasons. But I think as a game, it's very much should be good fun to anyone who enjoys those sort of war games and is a fan of Star Wars. It should be a no-brainer and definitely worth picking up.